How to choose chord tensions. When choosing chord tensions, it really all depends on what sound you want for your chord. Before we look into how to choose a chord tension, we first need to know what chord tensions are and all the available chord tensions for major chords, minor chords, and dominant chords. So let's start with the major chord. The major chord has 3 available tensions: the 9th, sharp 11, and 13. You can see that these tensions fit neatly within the major 7th chord. They're all a whole step above a note. The 9th is a whole step above the 1st. The 11th, or the sharp 11th, is a whole step above the 3rd. And the 13th is a whole step above the 5th. So when picking your chord tension, it all depends on the sound you want. This sounds a lot different from this and this. Also, voicing plays a lot into how a chord can feel. We could voice our chord like this. This C major sharp 11. I'm playing 1st, 7th, 5th, 9th, sharp 11. Sounds a lot more open. We can also add the 13th. Just giving the chord all different sound and a different feeling. Let's move on to minor chords. And I'll stay within the key of C, just using the white notes, just to make everything easier. So for minor chords, the available tensions are the 9th, 11th, and the 13th. I want to note that these are available tensions for chords. At the end of the day, there are no rules when it comes to music. Everything truly is subjective. So breaking the rules when you see fit is perfectly fine to do. For example, let's go back to our major chord real quick. You could take the 9th and flatten it. It's kind of a dissonant sound, but there's ways to use stuff like that. Flat the 11th. Now, it sounds dissonant because these notes sit right next to each other. And dissonance can sound good within chords. So there are no rules. These are more guidelines, things that we typically associate with sounding good. Now, there's a lot of ways you can use tensions. You don't always have to play them above the chord to make things sound interesting. You could cluster some things. Bring the 9th down. Now, it does sound a little muddy. In that case, we can just get rid of the 3rd for now. So knowing the available tensions allows you to either enhance a chord or alter its sound quite a bit. I mean, if we look at just the basic minor triad, sounds a lot different than this. Now you could do things like an add 9, no 7th, just adding the 9 or 11th on top of the triad. Dominant chords have a lot of available tensions. Let's just start off with some familiar sounds. The 9th is available, natural 9, sharp 11, and 13. Now you can already hear how much tension this chord can build. It really wants to resolve. Now the interesting thing we can do with a lot of these natural tensions is flat and sharpen them. Specifically with the 9th, we have the flat 9 and the sharp 9 as available tensions, and we also have the flat 13. Those are all available tensions within the dominant chord. Now, when you use these tensions, personally, there is no right way or right tension to use. You just have to choose tensions based off of the feeling you want to evoke. For example, I often like playing my dominant chords like this. I find that they resolve really well. I just think that sounds pretty gorgeous, going from that to that. Now what I'm doing here, first of all, in the basic dominant 7th, I'm bringing the 7th down, and then I'm playing the flat 9, 9, and the 13th. Again, there are no rules. I like playing this flat 9 and the 9 together because it just adds that dissonance, that urgency to resolve. Knowing the available tensions for the basic sort of fundamental chords, major, minor, dominant, kind of the most common chords used in music. Knowing these tensions helps just enhance your music, juice it up. And in terms of answering the question of how to choose your chord tensions, it really all depends on what you want, the sound that you want. Knowing this is important because knowing this allows you to then pick the sound that you want. So I hope this helped in some fashion.